Well, hello there. I haven't made a video in a really long time, and mostly just because I didn't feel like it. And I really didn't have much to say. I wasn't doing much. I've been working a lot, and so I've just been really busy, and then with the holidays, and then my friend from England was visiting me. So I've just had a lot going on. Um, so I do have some things to talk about, several things to talk about, however, I'm just going to split them up into different videos. So in this video I'm going to give two reviews, since that's primarily what I use these videos for, just to tell you like some things I've been doing and whether or not I like them. So the first thing I'm going to review is the movie Cloverfield. So I saw it this past Saturday, which was the day after it came out. And I meant to do the review sooner, but you know, I got busy. So my impression of the film immediately after seeing it is I thought it was hilarious. Okay, like I thought it should be considered a comedy. I told my friends this, a lot of my friends this. It's just so funny. Like it's so beyond realistic that even while it's trying to be scary, like you sort of just know it would never happen, so it's like I think I don't they keep the mood pretty light during the film anyway, that it sort of doesn't really work for me as a scary movie or as a thriller of some sort. So the other thing, of course, you know, the movie is filmed using basically like a handheld camera which bounces around a lot, and several of my friends who saw it came out saying, "Oh my god, I'm so dizzy, I'm so dizzy." Wasn't really affected by that. I didn't really mind it so much. Excuse me. But I don't know why like all these critics are like hailing it. They're like, "Oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever," whatever. I guess no one remembers the Blair Witch Project, but it was strikingly similar in the way that it was filmed. So you know what, like, it's not really an original concept in filmmaking. It is sort of trying to revive a concept that didn't really take off. I don't think that this concept is going to take off either. I just didn't... Overall, I thought the movie was okay, but I wouldn't spend, you know, the $11.50 or whatever it is now for the movie to go see it. I would, you know, buy a bootleg in Chinatown or something like that. And there were a lot of, so the other thing with that movie is there were a lot of inconsistencies about New York. Like, if you live here or you've spent a lot of time here or whatever, you'll notice that several things are wrong in the movie, and I'm not going to go into that right now, but if you're interested, let me know, and we can have a discussion about what things were misrepresented about New York City in this film. So the other thing I'm going to review is a show that I went to see, a Broadway show that I went to see when my friend was visiting from England. So we went to actually 3 Broadway shows, and I'll mention them briefly, but I'll only talk in detail about one. So we saw Rent, which was my 4th time seeing Rent, and I have to say, I'm sad that it's going to close on Broadway on June 1st, but at the same time I'm sort of happy because it's almost like they're trying too hard now to get all of these like American Idol rejects and sort of bigger name people to try and bring in the ticket sales. So it's just, you know, it's just naturally, it's been 12 years, it's naturally the time for the show to end, and, you know, I don't think that's a bad thing, especially because the cast that we saw was very lackluster. I was not impressed at all. I think all 3 times I've seen it before were much better. So, you know, it's time. The second show we saw was Spring Awakening, and this was the 2nd time I had seen Spring Awakening. So that was good. It was better the 2nd time, I think, but I still think there's a huge disconnect between sort of the plot and the story and the style of music and the lyrics that are going on. And like it's really hard to understand without really studying the lyrics why these songs are in there, and what was sort of the point of them. There's a few that you can sort of tell when you see the show, you know, exactly what the point is, but it's still not my favorite show. I still don't think it's all that, but that's my opinion. We also saw Hairspray. Now, that was my first time seeing Hairspray on the stage. I have, of course, seen the movie many, many times. I own it. I love it. The stage show was phenomenal. It's completely different than the movie, while still maintaining, the core of sameness, but the way things are done in the movie wouldn't have worked on stage, so, of course, it's quite different, the way they do things, and there are some different songs in the show as well that were not in the movie because of the way they changed the plot. But I have to say it was great. The performances weren't, again, they probably weren't the best for the show, but again, the show's been running for a while. But I loved them all. I thought every character was amazing and did such a good job. I especially loved the lady who played Prudy Pingleton / other roles, and I love Penny. Penny Pingleton is my favorite character in the whole show, and I think it's probably because, this is a good segue into my last little thing here, because the original actress who played Penny Pingleton is Carrie Butler, and Carrie Butler is now on Broadway in Xanadu. That's her. So, I have seen Xanadu before, and I did a review of it then, but I would just like to reiterate that it is probably the funniest and best show right now on Broadway. It may not be the most original since it's coming from a really bad movie, but the songs, which are from the movie, with a few new songs added in, they're catchy, they're fun. The show is only about an hour and 50 minutes long. There's no intermission. It moves right through. You finish and you feel like you've seen a 3-hour show in that short amount of time because you're having fun the whole time. They crack jokes. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of other Broadway shows. It makes fun of sort of the whole convention and all of the conventions that are in theater nowadays. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. Carrie Butler is amazing. She's probably one of my top 2 Broadway actresses right now. The other one being Kelly O'Hara, because I think she just has a beautiful voice, and I'm very excited that she's going to be in South Pacific at Lincoln Center Theater. And the rest of the cast was amazing. I was sad because Jackie Hoffman was not in the performance that we saw, and I love her. Mary Testa is amazing. And of course Cheyenne Jackson, who is incredibly hot, in wearing those little short shorts because it's 1980. Oh my god. I was just loving it. And I went with some people from work and they loved it as well. I took my friend for his birthday. So if you're in New York, if you're planning a trip to New York, definitely see Xanadu. You can get tickets from the TKTS booth. You can buy tickets and sit on stage, which I've done, and it's amazing. It's so much fun. Or you can sit in the audience. It's definitely worth it. I hope the show is well represented at the Tonys. I hope it wins the Tony for Best Musical, because it's just so much fun and creative and campy without being bad. It's campy in a good way. It's really hard to describe, so just go see it. Check out some clips on YouTube. Check out some performances that are floating around on YouTube of some of the different numbers. And check it out if you come to New York or when it comes on tour. Okay? So hopefully this will be the first of many more of my wonderful reviews to come. And next time I'll write it out a little bit more so I'm not rambling as much. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon.